Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. First, I want to apologize for my absence over the past few months. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to run Flux1 locally on your hard drive using SD Forge. Stable Diffusion Forge, or SD Forge, is quite similar to Stable Diffusion Automatic 1111. One of the advantages of using SD Forge is that you can run Flux1 with low VRAM. You can also manually set the amount of RAM you want to use for generating an image. SD Forge is an enhanced version of Automatic 1111. So if you're already familiar with Automatic 1111, you'll find SD Forge easy to use. For those who are new, don't worry. I'll guide you through the basics of generating an image. So what is Flux and why should we use it? Flux is a text-to-image diffusion model developed by Black Forest Lab. It is currently one of the best AI models for generating high-quality images with good anatomy. We can use Flux either online or by running it locally on your PC. To try it online, simply visit the blackforestlabs.ai website or visit Hugging Face website. I'll first show you how to run it locally, and then I'll demonstrate how to use it online through the Hugging Face website. And stay tuned for my next video, where I'll show you how to run Flux1 using Comfy UI. So without further ado, let's dive in. First, I'll walk you through the installation of SD Forge. SD Forge and SD Automatic 1111 use the same platform, so we need to have Python and Git installed on our system as well. If you already have Automatic 1111, you just need to add SD Forge to your web UI. However, if you don't have Automatic 1111 yet, I recommend downloading the SD Forge package. If you choose this package, you won't need to install Git. However, I still advise installing Python and Git. In my case, since I have Automatic 1111 in my system, instead of adding Forge to my Automatic 1111 web UI, I will demonstrate how to integrate the Automatic 1111 models with SD Forge. After that, I will show you how to download and run the SD Forge package. If you want to learn the process of installing Automatic 1111, please watch my video on how to install and create an AI lookbook. I've included all the links you need in the description section. Visit the GitHub website and download the SD Forge UI. Link is in the description section. Scroll down to the Installing Forge section. Click on the link for CUDA 2.1 plus PyTorch to download the installer. If you want to learn about advanced installation, check this section. Now let's download all necessary models. For now, we only need 3 files, the Flux1 models and the VAE model. First, head over to the Hugging Face website. If you don't already have an account, be sure to sign up first. Now let's search for the Flux1 models. In the search bar, type LLYASVL. Choose Flux1 Dev BNB NF4. Then go to Files and Versions. Download this one. Just click the small download icon here. Then type LLYASVL again. Choose Flux1_dev. Click on the Files and Versions tab, and then click this to download the file. For the VAE model, type Flux1 in the search bar. Choose this one, guys. Click on the Files and Versions tab, and then download this file, AE Safe Tensors. You might wonder why I didn't choose Flux1 Dev Safe Tensors. I believe this model needed a clip model. However, you can download it and try it yourself. This model will work in Comfy UI. Place it in the unet folder inside the model directory. One more thing, the file size is large. Nevertheless, with its 12 billion parameter rectified flow transformer, it produces more accurate results. In fact, this model is number 2 in the Flux family, second to the Pro version of Flux. Save all files in a single directory. Extract the SD Forge web UI using 7-zip or WinRAR. If you are using WinRAR, right-click, then choose Extract here. You should be able to see these files. Now double-click the Update Batch file. This is different from your system since my web UI is already updated. Just follow the instructions to update. Press Enter to continue. Then, look for Web UI User Batch file. Right-click it and choose Edit in Notepad on Windows 11. On Windows 10, right-click and select Edit. Let's add xformers, then medvram. Medvram may not be work, but let's us try it anyway. Then go to File, select Save As, choose All Files, and click Save. Now, move all the models to the designated directory. Right-click and choose Copy or Cut. Go to the Web UI directory. Look for the Models folder. Then, in the Stable Diffusion folder, paste the Flux1 models. Do the same with the VAE model. Put it in the VAE directory. Now let's start SDForge Web UI. Simply double-click the Run Batch file. Look at this message, guys. This is what I mentioned about medvram. I included it on purpose to show you that SDForge memory management is fully automatic. There's also a warning in xformers. If you receive this warning, you may ignore it. Triton may not be available on your system. I think Triton is supported on Linux. However, if you see this message, using xformers cross-attention, it means it's working fine. Look, guys, the web UI is very similar to Automatic 11.11. And check out the additional settings and features. It's truly an enhancement of Automatic 11.11. Let's focus on Flux1 first and cover the other features in the next video. Let's go back to these options. Choose SD if you're using an SD model, XL if you're using an SDXL model, Flux if your model is for Flux, and All if you're unsure which model you're using. However, when experimenting, be specific about Flux to avoid confusing of the computer and to simplify the image generation process. You know, even the AI needs a little help too. Click on the Flux tab. Upon clicking, you'll see additional settings. By default, the realistic vision model is already included in the checkpoint section. Just change it to the Flux1 model. For the VAE, select the installed AE model or leave it blank. Leave the other settings at their default values. I've reduced the GPU weight value for this model because, for some reason, I sometimes encounter errors with higher settings. But this might be specific to my system. Feel free to experiment and adjust these settings as needed. But I think this model requires a high GPU. Let's type a simple prompt. One of the great features of Flux1 is its ability to correct bad anatomy. So let's give it a try. I have a simple prompt ready, so I'll just copy and paste it here. A beautiful woman looking at the camera, smiling, showing her 2 palms and 10 fingers. Since I always encounter errors with this model, let's choose a different one. This model doesn't need more VRAM. Let's adjust the GPU value to 10,000. Set the width to 12:16 and the height to 832. If you want to ignore the negative prompt, simply change the CFG scale value to 1. For the sampling method, let's use Euler. I tried other methods, but they didn't deliver good results. LMS is also good, but not as effective as Euler. Try using other method, guys. They might work for you. I think everything is set. Press Generate. You can check and monitor the progress in the command prompt. Here you can view the amount of CPU and GPU memory usage. By the way, guys, my system has 12 gigabytes of VRAM, which allows me to adjust GPU usage up to 12 gigabytes. However, if your system has less than 12 gigabytes of VRAM, the slider will adjust according to your system's capacity. Look, guys, Flux1 is really a game changer. Look at the hands. It's really impressive. I am already satisfied with the result because, for me, no hands are perfect. Let me show you the other image I generated here. Almost all of them are generated on the first attempt. Now, before we proceed to the Hugging Face website to create images online, let me first show you how to integrate the Stable Diffusion Automatic 1111 models with the SD Forge UI. This will help you save hard drive space and time by avoiding the need to transfer files between different UIs. Let's check first the checkpoint models and LoRa's in my A1111 web UI. Here are the checkpoint models, and here are the LoRa's. And then let's check the SD Forge available models. Now, guys, let's modify the web UI user batch file for SD Forge. Right-click and select Edit. Next, add an argument after medvram. Forge ref A 1111 home, followed by the path to your automatic 1111 directory. One way to do this, navigate to the folder, right-click it, and select Copy as Path. Paste this path into the batch file, making sure to include a space between Forge ref A 1111 home and the pasted paths. Go to File and select Save As, choose All Files, then Save. Restart the SD Forge web UI. If you're asking about this LoRa, I just tried using it here, but it doesn't work. I use this LoRa in Comfy UI. Now, let's check the checkpoints section. See, guys, all A1111 models have already been shared. We can now generate images using both web UI simultaneously. Finally, let's create an image online. Visit the Hugging Face website. Whether you have an account or not, you can create a free image. Please note that we will be using our free trial allocation. We are only here to test both the accuracy and speed of the online image generation. If you exceed your GPU limits, you will need to subscribe to generate additional images. I think once your allocation reaches the limit, it will reset again. Each time we generate an image, we will have to queue to allow Hugging Face time to find an available GPU to process our request. On the Hugging Face website, go to Spaces and click on it. This will open the Spaces page. As you can see, there are tons of AI apps created by the community that we can use and try here. Let's look for Flux.1 dev. Simply click on it. Look at how simple the UI is, guys. There are 3 examples here that you can try. Just pick one, and it will automatically generate an image without needing to press the Run button. In the Advanced section, click the arrow to open the Settings panel. Here you can set your dimensions, guidance scale, and inference steps. In the guidance scale, the higher the value, the more influence the text prompt has on creating the image. If your prompt lacks details, you might get a less accurate result. On the other hand, for inference steps, a higher value generally yields better results, but don't set it to the maximum value. Now, let's try our prompt that we used to generate an image in SD Forge. I paste it here. Then let's change the dimensions. Set the width to 1216 and the height to 832. Set the guidance scale to 2. Let's check our prompt again before we run. All the values I input here are the results of my experiment. Please try making your own and leave a comment if you find something. It would be a big help to our viewers. Then press Run. This is what I mentioned to you guys. Hugging Face will look for available GPU to process our request. Guys, this progress bar is real time, so we'll be able to see how quickly the image is generated online. As expected, online generation is faster than on a local PC. It is impressive. The details, especially the hands, is almost perfect. Try to copy my settings. These settings produce good results. Let's download the image to view it on a larger scale. Okay, everyone, that's all for now. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, make sure to give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'd love to hear your thoughts or questions in the comments below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you soon.